Have you ever set a deadline that ended up creating more anxiety and stress than clarity and progress? In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace deadlines with livelines so that the time frame of your goals create momentum and peace instead of pressure. It's your boy, Transformations Coach Avatar Fit, here live today, January 6th, to talk about this thing we call livelines. And before we get started, I just want to give a big shout out to our sponsors, Pure Nutrition, for this awesome drink. We're talking about aloe for the digestive system, concentrated tea, green tea, orange pico tea for the antioxidants, and no sugar juice, guys. I'm just going to take a little sip, a bit. Subscribe and hit the bell to stay up to date with all the content that we are going to be pushing out. So let's go. In the past 2 weeks, we spoke about P, which is purpose, O, which is objectives and obstacles. And today we get to speak about L. What are these letters? They're part of what we call the POLAC system, a system that I developed. Guys, I developed my own system. It's probably something that has existed for years and years and years. I just put it in my own words. And that's the great thing about life. Find what works for you and work it every single day. So it's very important, guys. The big picture of our life, our purpose. Why are we here? Very important to go be extremely clear on that. So if you're not sure what your purpose is, go check out our video in which you will be able to get tools on how to find your purpose. Next, once we find that purpose, we need to work on the little details every single day to live our purpose. Those are called objectives. So we set objectives to live our purpose, but there are some obstacles that might come up in the future. So what's really awesome as human beings is that we can look into the future and say, hey, these things might come up. So let's find the solutions today. You don't have to spend too much time doing it, but the solutions you find to those problems that are not yet here and might not come up, well, if they ever do come up, you're already ready. And Les Brown said it best. He said it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. So guys, today we're talking about the L of the POLAC system, livelines. And we're going to go through 3 questions to clarify how do I set up livelines and really build peace and momentum and get rid of anxiety in my life. So here we go. We're going to dive into this. It's going to be short and sweet. Question number 1, where in your life are you using a deadline that actually creates pressure instead of progress? And here's an example. Now, pay attention to the wording. I have to lose 20 pounds by March 1st. That could be there. You have your goal and you gave it a liveline. I have to lose 20 pounds by March 1st. All right. And ever since you've done that, everything just seems like pressure. So I have to lose 20 pounds by March 1st. And now every meal feels like stress. Every workout feels like a punishment. And every off day feels like failure because I'm taking a break. But it's supposed to feel like I'm building a healthy body. So what can we do to change that deadline that we gave ourselves? We're focusing on that March 1st deadline, right? We're going to switch it up and build a liveline. So we're going to find the answer in question number 2. So if the same goal became a liveline, something you live into daily instead of race toward, how would that change the way you show up this week? Now, I don't know if you got that. What if that same goal of burning 20 pounds before March 1st or by March 1st became something you lived on the daily instead of a race towards that date? And here's what I mean. Instead of saying, I have to hit this by this date, you see where the focus is? My focus is on becoming a better me. And my liveline is every single day. And it's okay. March 1st is still there, but I am focused on today and moving today instead of just focusing on the end and just being, okay, by March 1st, I got to do this. I'm focusing on today. I got to move today. Awesome. I am respecting my future self by eating well today. Now, today matters, not just the end date, because that's the thing. When we set that deadline, March 1st, we just stay focused there. And we just stay focused on the end date and forget who we have to become to get our results. So that's the big difference, guys, between deadlines and livelines. Question number 3, who do you become when your goals stop being finish lines you fear and start being standards you live by? Guys, daily action. Daily action. For example, you stop being the person who is always behind, catching up, starting over, and you become someone who is simply consistent, grounded, and in motion, whether the results show up today or in 6 months. Because you're so focused on who you have to become, not that you forget about that end goal, but it's actually more satisfying to see the progress of who you're becoming. And whether it's March 1st, December 22nd, whatever the case may be, you have a sense of fulfillment in the habits that you're developing, in the person that you're becoming. So guys, when we speak about the POLAX system, purpose, objectives, / obstacles, livelines, those are the 3 first letters of the POLAX system. It's very important to understand that all these are tied to one thing. One thing. And that thing we're going to talk about next week, which is the A of the POLAX system. Without this, nothing works. Nothing works. I promise you. We can sit down, talk about it, take notes, make a plan. But if we don't do A of the POLAX system, it will never work for you, for me, for any team, any company. So tune in next week for our live in which we're going to talk about the A of the POLAX system. I'm so excited. That letter means absolutely everything. And if you know the answer to what the A is, jot it down in the comments, and I'll mention you in the next live. Ooh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. So it's your boy Avatar Fit here, guys, with the livelines of the POLAX system. Remember, you do not have to live with anxiety. Actually, before we go, I love this. The definition of anxiety. I've heard it from someone that I admire, and it makes so much sense. Anxiety is thinking of a future that I don't want, a future in which I just have fear, a future that is not favorable for me. And so I start to stress about what I see in the future. Anticipation is looking at a future and seeing what I want to happen. You see that difference? Same situation in the sense that I'm looking into the future, but it's my perspective on how I look into the future, because both of those outcomes exist. There's an outcome where it doesn't go your way, and there's an outcome where it does go your way. Wherever you put your focus on will determine whether you live with anxiety or you live with anticipation. And here's what's so awesome, guys. I'm gonna give you guys a key. You take this, you put it in your pocket, and you use it to open whichever door you need to happiness, okay? When you live with anticipation and you look into the future and you see a favorable outcome and you get to the point, right? You get to your lifeline and it doesn't happen. When you've become the person who accepts the inevitable that sometimes it might not happen, the key word accepts, is perfectly fine. Because everything happens as it should. And that's the most important, that is the most important part of this. Acceptance. Acceptance. My uncle said it best. He said, there's no pressure if you don't resist. Accept that things might not go your way. And if they don't go your way, that's just the way it's supposed to be, because it wouldn't happen if it's happening. So on that note, guys, it was your boy Avatar Fit. I will see you next week. Guys, make sure you like this video, subscribe, and tap the bell to stay tuned for our shorts, guys. I'm going to be posting a lot of shorts. Stay fit, stay blessed, and keep applying everyday progress.